do we just want women to look the other way?
Like your grandmama did. That's how she stayed married to Willie Earl for 50 years.
Philosophically, I can still say that in looking away, she recognizes who the guy is. And she says, you know what? This is something I'm not gonna focus on.
There is wisdom in knowing what you can bear. And sometimes y'all be going looking for knowing good and damn well you can't deal with it. This woman says she has a secret, in regards to how you can make marriages last even longer for all the ladies out there. This woman opined that the women of yesteryear knew the secret and she recognized what that secret was. And on a panel full of men, I felt this was so appropriate for us to discuss this as the main topic to start the conversation. And she said, the secret is, mind your goddamn business. You know what I'm saying? And by mind your business, that means is he taking care of me or no? And that's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying? If he is out there fucking some other woman, then so be it. I don't see it. You heard me. That is the secret. Some of y'all are too busy looking for too much information. Why do that to yourself? She said she don't want to be stressed with all that mess. You heard what I'm saying? So my question to the panel full of men, I really wish there was women here to speak on this, but that's okay. Is she telling the truth? Like, we got to be honest, y'all. Do we just want women to look the other fucking way so that we can go about our business? You know what I'm saying? Is that a secret to marriage that women today should consider?
The deep introspective, you know what I'm saying, kumbaya part of me says, no, she should be able to, don't look away. Look at that man, see him for who he is and appreciate him because he is still holding it down for you, right? And these are things that help power him. You know what I mean? And just take in the wholeness of that man and just appreciate that, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Don't look away. Realize you got you a great one, okay? But now the realistic person in me knows that women aren't going to be able to do that. So, so yeah, the looking away is a boss move. And philosophically, I can still say that in looking away, she recognizes who the guy is. And she says, you know what? This is something I'm not going to focus on, right? Not so much as she is even deluding herself as just she's put it into place. And I respect that. You know what I mean? She's accounted it into the totality of her man and go, okay, well, even with everything, he's still solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. She knows her man. I'm all for it.
You know what? I think this is great advice from our ancestors. Look the other way like your grandmama did. That's how she stayed married to Willie Earl for 50 years. Your grandmother knew about them women. She knew about them. But she didn't go without. The bills got paid. And what was the standard back then? Don't let it come back to my doorstep. And don't embarrass me in public. That's the way they did it back then. And you know what? We were all better for it. You got to enjoy both your grandparents. They were still together. But now everybody wants to be in grown folks' business, as they say. I think that was the secret. Now, I think Willie Earl should just have been more transparent. I know it wasn't the time to say, hey, listen, I want to have these other women, but I'm coming home to you. I'm bringing home the bacon. I'm taking care of everything. So this is just how my program's going to go. Because, guys like to talk about their, program or whatever. But I think that was the move back then. It worked. It worked for a long time. It was just as recently, maybe the last 40 years, they're like, oh, I want this fabulous, great, highly desirable man that's handsome and got a jawline, and I want him to have him all to myself. Like, come on, man. Willie Earl worked at the factory, and he had 2 other families, and your grandmother knew about those women. Go back and listen to Woman to Woman. Barbara knew about Shirley. That was the move. We don't have their Instagram and Snapchat from back in the day, but we have their music. Go back and listen to Woman to Woman. She knew about her because she called her.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest some more, right? How can she look the other way if a nigga is being transparent?
Nice.
Y'all niggas, this I get is the right thing to do to hope that everybody's being honest and transparent about their desires. But the thing about, this question is that there's a reason why looking the other way worked. It was because niggas weren't, you guessed it, transparent. It's really hard
That's a
to
fact.
look the other way when the niggas transparently throwing it in your face. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a disconnect because the truth is, if we're going to be honest, a lot of women look the other way already. You know, they'll say things like, I had a gut feeling, but you know what they was doing when they did nothing on that gut feeling? You guessed it. They looked the other way. She knew her man was outside. She noticed his change of habits. She noticed that things were not quite the same. But you know what she did? She looked the other way. Now, the crux of the question is, why is she looking the other way, right? Is it because she doesn't want to see the truth? Those are the dangerous lookaways there, ladies, because if he is out here moving in such a way that it makes it hard for you to look away, then maybe you should leave the relationship. There's a difference between throwing it in your face and being transparent. Throwing it in your face is like, he ain't say shit, but you can tell it's reckless. You can smell the other bitch on him. You know what I'm saying? He is throwing it in your face, but he was not transparent. Okay? There's a difference. So let's go back to this problem solving, because we here at the BLC is all about solving problems. And I'll be honest, I don't think every woman in every situation should look away. So here are some tips in terms of when it might make sense to look away. Right? If the nigga is providing some substantive value to your life where you would be left with less if he left, then maybe you should look the other way. For some people, that may be monetary. For some people, that means he's paying all the bills. Shit, some of y'all might be good with him paying a third of the bills. Okay, there's no real measure here. But if he's bringing enough value and caveat, if you ain't really fucking them like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes they gotta reframe some shit. You know what I mean? The nigga only paying 35% of your bills, so why should you have to fuck him 100% of the time? Right? Think about it. Right? he hasn't earned 100% of that coochie, right? So let him go out there and get a side job and a side girl to help satiate the situation. You feel what I'm saying? So there is wisdom in knowing what you can bear, right? And sometimes y'all be going looking for shit, knowing good and damn well you can't deal with it. It's okay to acknowledge those things, right? As long as you see value in that man, in that relationship. And if you ain't really rocking like that, some of y'all be wanting to own the dick, but don't even be using it like that. You selfish motherfucker. Right? So, and then you're causing yourself consternation because you got the dick on lock. The dick want to be free because you ain't giving him none. So it's like you create unnecessary tension. Okay? If he's handling his responsibility, he's not being disrespectful, he ain't Michael Blacksoning you, right? Then look the fucking other way. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it makes sense. Some of y'all are looking the other way and it doesn't make sense. Okay? So for each woman out there, you have to discern whether or not this is a strategy. At the end of the day, what it really boils down to is this woman is talking about a strategy. How do you maintain your life? How do you maintain some satisfaction? You know what I mean? And some peace, right? And sometimes, my final point, looking away can bring you peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, he coming home. You know what I mean? He gonna take care of responsibilities. You know he ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So why are you going to disturb your own peace by trying to find some shit? You know what I mean? Some of the best basketball players is to look away. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the look away pass.
Right? Right? It's like you don't even see it coming. You know what I'm saying? And it's like magic, right? Like Johnson, even, right? I mean, if there's a pause there, maybe he was looking away a little too much. So maybe he's a bad example.
I'm not gonna.
That's a fact.
Maybe
I am wondering, to
himself.
your point, why is we hear about this women's intuition. Why does it only work when they think he's cheating? The intuition never works when, like, you know what, my intuition is telling me he needs some head. You don't get to one of that.
That's a good point. That was a good one.
For real.
I was thinking the lottery, but I like where you went with it.
My intuition is telling me he needs to clap my cheeks. That's what I wonder why women's intuition never tells them that.
But let me ask y'all this though, for real, on a serious note, just a quick serious note. Hopefully watch the disclaimer at the top of the show.
Yes.
Some of us are just having fun and being toxic a little bit. But let me ask y'all a question though, for real, like take a little bit more of a serious note, right? I mean, I know we're talking about people looking away, especially women looking away if they figure out like their man might be cheating or whatever. But do y'all think like maybe people could benefit from like looking away from smaller things? Because I feel like we're in a day and age now where people complain or look at everything. Oh, you did this, you did that. And maybe that's causing even more problems in relationships, which is why maybe they're not lasting. Like with all of us becoming mentally aware, using all these words, narcissists or whatever. So do y'all think though that there is a danger that looking too into something may be causing more problems though, for real, for real?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something. I think there's a lot more keeping score, tracking everything as far as who did what, and especially if it's documented or there's chats and screenshots of everything. Especially if you guys are having a text war or a text fight with your lady. All that stuff's kind of hard to look away from, especially because you can always refer back to it. So I think you might be onto something. I think we let a lot fewer things slide that you probably should be. So if you're saying, you know what, there's less picking your battles like the older people say you should do, you're 100% right.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's less acceptance of people in their totality and accepting that people are multifaceted. I think that what everybody wants to be seen, to be understood, to be known, right? And then of course in a relationship you're looking for that too. But there is that danger that with every part that you share or you communicate, it can be criticized. It can become something now that is a topic of concern when it wasn't a concern before. The person was happy. You were doing everything. Imagine a guy who is doing everything. His wife is super duper happy, but he's been cheating for the past 2 years. She's happy until she found out he was cheating, and that blows my mind. Here's why it blows my mind. Because she had everything she could possibly want in life. She did. She had it all. This new knowledge that he had more in his life makes her want to throw the whole thing away. It's just weird. So
Hold on, man. It's not weird. That's not that weird.
It's okay. If it's
I mean,
not
I know
weird, can I
not
just
me
call it
having to
selfish?
break out the estrogen again, Jay. Not me having to break it out again.
Okay, all right.
Damn it, where's my
He's like,
estrogen
look what you
from?
made me do.
All right, my bad.
No,
No,
I
we just
mean,
guys in the room.
come on, man. How she go? Because she had this vision in her head, right? And that man completely broke it with that, little small tidbit, right? Like, oh, I got a whole other life and family over here that you never knew about. Yeah, you're right. How can she not continue to live in her delusion?
That's
I thought you
crazy.
and I was having a whole conversation this weekend about delusion, and here we are. Like, which brings it perfectly back before we go to the next topic, because it goes back to the whole idea of women looking the other way. I think a lot of people, not just women, men too, people have to look away to keep the delusion alive, right? Hey, maybe our marriage is on the rocks. Hey, maybe this person got one foot out the door. Hey, maybe this person no longer loves me. But if I look away, then I can keep the delusion that this relationship is salvageable in mind. You dig what I'm saying? So I hear you, but I think, but that's where I said it before, it's dangerous, right? Because really you're on life support. Really, you need to walk in there. Your relationship is over and you just don't know. Because you're too busy, you guessed it, looking the other way. Right? Everybody else can see it but you, girl. Your neighbors, the postman, girl, you still here? The people at your job, the people at his job. Everybody know it but you, girl.
So I'm gonna look away into a different part of the game. Okay, so away from the married people, I want to talk about this theory that simps are the outbreak monkey of female narcissists. Right? They are the ones who started it all. This isn't a call. It's shout out to news thing happening right now. Anyway, like the monkeys. Anyway, they started it all though, and here's how they started off. Right? My theory. My theory is that this idea of trying to esteem the woman, right? This has resulted in like an over validation. Okay. And so it made women feel a little just entitled to a treatment that maybe they're not all worthy for, right? Maybe in the desire that some guys have, to show themselves as supporters of women and supporters of femininity, maybe they leave out the accountability, right? And maybe that's the even bigger problem because you create a monster. Oh, what do you think? What do you think?
I definitely think simps are responsible for a lot of the what the kids call wholeflation, the overvaluing of their sexual marketplace value. But I think they are a vital part of the economy because the more simps pay, that's the less the rest of us have to pay. So they're kind of doing the Lord's work in the sexual economy. Having said that, it does create a certain level of entitlement and narcissism that the rest of us have to pay because they think, okay, well, this guy was gassing me up. Now, why aren't all men gassing me up? I'm entitled to this. I had these simps over here giving me this stuff for free. I can kind of elevate myself. I'm on the pedestal. And why aren't these other guys putting me on the pedestal? And so that causes a bit of cognitive dissonance in the lady's head, I think. So, yeah, all right. I mean, simps do play a role in female narcissism, but they are important for the economy so they can take the women out on expensive dates and trips. And when they go to the STKs or Steak 48s, they will get a doggy bag and then they'll bring it home. And the guy they really like can slide by after the simp drops her home and eat the leftovers. So, yeah, shout out to the simps, man. They're doing the Lord's work, but they are causing narcissism.
Whew, Lord have mercy. I feel like we're not telling enough of the truth today, so I must be the person to bring more of the truth to the table. Because let's be honest, first of all, we're not talking about a lot of women here, are we? Well, there's certain women we're not talking about. I gotta separate this for a little bit, right? So sorry, ladies, it doesn't apply. Let it fly. So what we're really talking about are the women who are not cute enough to get the type of attention that they may think they're getting from men. Okay, so let's separate it a little bit, right? Meaning that if it was like Jennifer Lopez, like we just talked about Jennifer Lopez a couple of weeks ago, and Jennifer Lopez is a narcissist, right? And at least jokingly, right? We can look at her and understand why. She's motherfucking J-Lo, right? She's had the world and all these different people. So I mean, we say narcissist, but we'd still hit it. We'd still get with J-Lo for the most part, like whatever word we're using, right? So what we're really talking about are women who are not attractive enough to maybe even get to feel a certain type of way acting like that because guys who are just suckers for anything, right, inflated those women's egos. Because the women whose egos are properly inflated, like we're cool with it. Like we accept it. You know what I'm saying? That's why Hallie's been married 3 times. J-Lo's been married a bunch of times, right? It's because, yep, it's worth it. You know what I mean? She's validated. You know what I mean? So what we're really talking about is the women who out here moving as if they're J-Lo and they're not. Having expectations because maybe they had dalliances here and there, right? Their delusion in thinking that they are more than they are or deserve more than they should get, right? That type of a thing. That's what we're really talking about when we say simps creating narcissists, right? Because we're saying that guys, and I'm not saying this actually, I'm saying the conversation is saying, we gotta be honest, that guys who are beta niggas are out here inflating the egos of beta bitches. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better way to say it. Because the guys who are courting women of value, we wouldn't call them simps, right? And those women who are of value would not be narcissists, right? Because they're of value. They move a certain type. You know, one of my favorite type of women are the humble, cute girls. You know what I'm talking about? The ones who ain't really know they cute for real. Like they don't swim in the cute. You know, they know they cute. They blush when you tell them still. They don't even really believe it, or they fake pretend like they don't really. You know what I'm saying? Those are the gems of the world. So we're not talking about y'all. This conversation is specific to that niche of women who think they are more than they are. And sis, I hate to tell you, I'm all choked up. You're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not. And it's keeping you from your joy. You dig what I'm saying? And to the topic of the conversation, y'all niggas out there are making it worse for these women. You're not helping them. You think your good morning text is really helping you get closer to the vag? No. She is looking at you like you're a stan in the fans. You know what I'm saying? So now she thinks she got fans. And maybe she does because you're acting like one. right? And so now she's moving through the world like she should be moving behind velvet ropes. Nah, sis, you just got a simp ass nigga who likes you. And in truth, you should probably like him back, because here's
That's a
the
fact.
big gaff of the whole thing. He is your speed. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's like, you know what I mean? He's the one you should probably be with. You're using him as gas to gas your head up, right? To make you feel better, like there's more options out there. But the niggas you chasing ain't, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So yes, I think in that small eco of unattractive men and women, right? Women thinking they're better than the men who are right for them, and men are thinking that those women are better than them. They are part of their own problem. Because guess what? I ain't fishing for those bitches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right? It's like you wouldn't go fishing in a pond where you have trained the fish to look past you, right? It don't make no sense. So ultimately, they're hurting each other. The simp is hurting the ecosystem by inflating these women's heads, and by that, hurting himself. And those ladies are being hurt because they're going to be left with the reality that, sorry, sis, you weren't good enough to bag that nigga. You know what I'm saying? The nigga you should have been bagged by was 2 grocery store lanes to the left when you were leaving the Winn-Dixie. But you thought you was better than that. And so now it's paper or plastic. You know what I'm saying? With your old, lowly ass. But anywho's, go ahead, man.
So I don't know if there's much left on the bone that you guys just
He
completely,
was preaching. He was
you
preaching.
know
I
what I
ain't gonna
mean?
lie.
Well, I'll try to give a little bit here.
Pick
Because
up my
I'll take
arm.
the economist standpoint. No, I'm not gonna. I should pause there. I really should. I should.
Well,
Okay, let me go again. All right. So, from an economic standpoint, okay, simps are bad. Okay, simps are just bad. I know you guys tried to sell that there's this bright side of it and whatever, but they raise the price of coochie. Okay, they do, and it's artificial inflation, right? More than Nick's point, right, about the chick who's not really worth it. And I appreciate Nick you saying that we're not talking about all women, because we're not talking about all women. Some of y'all women, you're sweet and you got the character and you're humble. And even if you're beautiful, you got character. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to the people that some guy figured if he just showed up chivalrous enough, like a knight in shining armor or something, without even seeing if she was really a damsel or if she was worth the distress, right? And he just starts lavishing things on her that she's not really deserving of. Lavishing attention, lavishing whatever, okay? Basically, imagine raising a child. I'm not calling women children, but I'm just saying nurturing a relationship
yeah, so
from the
don't cook
beginning,
us in the comments.
right? They go, but if you're raising a child, and you praise the child for everything, okay? And you praise the child for everything, whether it's something of value or not. You just praise him every chance you get, okay? The child becomes numb to the praise, right? They become A, addicted to it, and B, numb to it at the same time. It doesn't take them as far because they're used to hearing it, but now they need to hear it because they hear it all the time. You can create a narcissist. So I'm saying if she does something that's tight, yeah, that's tight, girl, that's good. But fellas, y'all got to stop all this just every woman is a queen. Listen, if they all queens, we're the peasants.
That's a fact. You know what? To you guys' point, you know, some of these guys, and I like how Nick made distinction. They are creating 49ers, fours who think they are nines, and that's the problem. You got too many 49ers. Okay. Now, well, I do have to push back on you a little bit, Nick. They're not raising the price for all guys. They're raising the price for the guys they don't want. For the guys that those women do want, he's getting it on the low anyway, or for free. So the price is being raised for the guys that they aren't interested in to begin with. So that's where the inflation comes. The jawline Chad guy that she wants, you know, Walmart Tavius, he's gonna always get it on the low. So the inflation doesn't affect him, right?
Yeah, but you see, this is the problem I have with that analogy there, my good brother Delvin, is that we assume that Walmart Tavius is hitting that. A lot of them ain't getting it, my brother. They're not. They're not even getting it from Walmart Tavius, my brother, is what I'm trying to tell you. They don't be outside like that. They don't be mixy like that. I'm talking about just average regular, everyday women for the most part, right? They'll look down on the dudes that they have proximity to and not have the actual proximity to the dudes they want, is what I'm saying. You assume that Walmart Tavius or whatever stag, nigga is hitting it. I'm telling you, bro, a lot of them aren't getting piped down like that. A lot of them. That's why you hear so many of them talking about being celibate like it's by choice. You know what I'm saying? It's not. She just couldn't find somebody that she was attracted to and comfortable with fucking. And so she said, no. You know what I'm saying? All that's in her field is niggas who don't want to fuck her. And that's what I'm saying. Like, women just got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? It's for their own fucking sakes. You know, and again, the women who are getting scratches, sniff coochie, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga just come around every now and then and see what's up with you. You hit it and then he bounce, right? Okay, cool. Like if she thinks that that's some long-term relationship, cool. But I'm telling you, even women in those situations know that they're getting the short end of the long stick. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
You like that?
That pun's unintentional.
Right? So I feel like we always assume that these women are getting dick down. And I'm like, nah, bro. A lot of them are not getting dick down. And they be getting in their own way of getting dick down. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas that are dicking down, they may be looking past some of these bitches, dog. Like some of them ain't worth dicking down, dog, just because there might be a reason nobody's hitting that. You know what I'm saying? A multitude. Right? Am I tripping?
Not as usually.
No, but I will give a disclaimer here. Because I know when we use the word narcissist, right? And I know we joke around. It's just jokes, y'all, right? Because a narcissist is far more than we're joking, we're talking about, right? But we are serious, though. I think that there's a lot of women out here with inflated egos. We can say at the very least that. Maybe there's some people, some delusion out here as well. And I think that's the problem, right? In the economy. Anytime somebody overvalues something that the market is clearly telling you does not fit, you're going to have shit sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, it goes on sale. Right?
Like
so
those
don't
Stanley
go on sale,
cups.
ladies. Yeah. I mean, don't be on the clearance rack. You know what I mean?